Hello. All right. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the biggest interactive webinar in Nigeria. Now, there's a lot of amazing, what I call it, a lot of surprises coming that you need to stay to watch this to the end. It's going to last for just 55 minutes, so we're not going to waste your time. Short and sharp. I have some amazing people right here in the studio with me. Lovely guys. A shout out to my man from Boeing Luxury Estates. Is it Boeing Luxury? Yeah. And on my line and the rest. So we have a lot in stock for you today. So sit back and don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a short break. So a quick one. I'm going to introduce the guests now. I'm going to introduce. Go live, go live, go live. All right, welcome back. Very quick one. Now, welcome to Calm Strategy webinar. I told you the biggest webinar series in Nigeria. Why did I say so? Because we're going to be looking at 4 strategies an entrepreneur can use to grow their brand. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here, so we're going to be coming to them real hard on this 4 strategy. But today we are looking at creative content creation. So I have big brands that are represented here that are going to be coming on stage to put us through on this content creation journey. Now, for this episode, we are going to be majorly concentrating on content creation. Then the next one, we have 4 episodes coming up. So the next one we look at advertising, the next one look at marketing, and the next one look at sales process. So we're looking at content, advertisement, marketing, and sales. For this particular episode, we are looking at creative content, how to grow your brand with creative content. So before I go, shout out to everybody that is watching online right now. Please do share this live stream to everyone to follow. I told you it's going to be very short and brief. So anyone that doesn't follow immediately will actually miss out. So before I introduce my guests, I told you one of the big things about Calm Strategy webinar is this. We give out free gifts. Put your hands together for the free gift that is coming to somebody right now. Put your hands together. So we're giving the free gift out to one of I was thinking, how am I going to give out this free gift today? But the only way I can give it out is randomly. But something struck me. There's one of our participants that came to the studio that came very early. Oma Line. Put your hands together for her. See that there. Oma Line. So, all right, come back. Cameraman, come back. All right, Oma Line has actually won a free gift from Iniemi Couture, one of our sponsors. A scintillating, is there anyone like scintillating? A sexy gown by Iniemi Couture. And the worth of this gown is worth 25,000 naira. I think we'll take a picture of her when she's on that gown and post it on our social media platform, right? So put your hands together for Iniemi Couture. Then the people that make this thing possible also is Eden Lounge. This is a VIP. Where we are shooting this thing right now is a VIP lounge of Eden. This is the most coolest place right now in Port Harcourt. If you have not been to Eden Lounge, I don't know what you're doing in Port Harcourt. This is coolest. I mean, very serene, especially the VIP part of the lounge. Very serene, calm. Do you have a witness here? People in the, you have a witness. All right. So quickly. So let me introduce my guest now. The number one person that will be coming on board is one of the man that I believe so much. We have been friends over the years. He is the owner of Port Harcourt Marketplace, or Marketplace PH, one of the biggest group in Port Harcourt. I think it should be close to 14 to 15,000 people right now. He was able to grow that particular page from 0 to 14,000. So he knows a lot about what he's coming to teach. So put your hands together for Mr. Clement. Bless you, sir. Welcome, sir. So the next person I'll be introducing also is one of the, I call him the content god. I call him the content god. He's one of the people that I met him some time ago, long time ago. I met him sometime in an event, and the first interaction we had, I know that this guy got a lot of stuff in him. So he's going to be taking us through a journey of how to develop a strategic content that can push your brand to the toppest, to the place that you want. So welcome on board, Owen J. Shedrack. Welcome, sir. So the next person I'm going to introduce right now. Most of you that are watching this thing should have seen him. If you scroll through your timeline for 5 minutes, for how am I saying 10 posts, and you didn't see his content, that means call him. There must be something wrong. His content, consistency in his content is massive. Man, I was even scared to even call him to come on board. So, but I gathered the courage and called him. And believe me, it didn't take him so much time. He was on board. So this guy that is coming is one of the biggest content creator in Port Harcourt right now. A photographer, a cinematographer. His latest short movie, massive, Delima. I saw the what I call the behind the scene. I can't wait to see that movie. So put your hands together for Mr. Jude Wednora Anyanwu. Bless you, sir. Bless you, sir. So quickly, let me not take our time. The first person that's going to take this thing up quickly will be Mr. Clement. He's going to take us the first segment of this webinar. So quickly, let's welcome Mr. Clement. Put your hands together for him.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. My name is Clement. I don't know if you guys have introduced you, because I would like to know you, sir. Your name, not your email, your Instagram account, and your brand. Tochi Imono. Your brand. Praise Concept, you, sir. His voice on the sound too. It's on the sound. Your name, sir. Your brand. Okay. Okay. I know your name, sir. He is my oga. Your name, sir. Okay. Okay. Your name, ma'am?
My name is Jane. My Instagram handle is Jane Alive.
Jane Alive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Business unusual.
Okay. Your name, ma'am?
My name is Ijoma. Instagram account is Ijoma. And my brand name is Omalan.
Omaline. Your name, sir?
My name is Pedro Arusi. My Instagram name is Green Pedro. Business name is Pedro
Pedro Trinity. Okay, quickly, the reason why I asked for our names is so that we will all know ourselves too, because I believe we come from different destinations, right? So my name is Clement Eshemogi. By the grace of God, I am the lead, as in the lead admin of Market Connect, PHC. And I'm also a digital skill trainer with Soundstones. I train Google content. So everything that has to do with Google, by the grace of God, I train their program for Soundstones. So I want to believe that with the little knowledge I have, we all can share what we know concerning the topic or the discussion for today. What are we saying? Visual content, right? Visual content, how we can use visual to sell ourselves, how we can use visual to market what we have. First of all, I want to say that if this phone is my product, before I can market this phone, I have to market myself first. Do we agree with that? Because when we approach somebody to buy our product, they first of all weigh us before we approach them. And even if what we are carrying is fantastic and we are not fantastic, it kills that product. Do we agree with that? So we have to be, first of all, visual appealing before presenting our product or our services. So it's going to be an interactive class. We know what visual is. Obviously, it is what we see, isn't it? Not what we hear. What we what? Please repeat now. What we see. I like us to repeat, because I strongly believe that when we repeat, we learn, we get the idea sink into us. That's why most times I like to look at the mirror. What do I do when I look at the mirror? I'm seeing the other person on the other side, and I talk to that guy there, and whatever I say to that guy, he's doing what? Saying it back to me, and it sinks. So I like repeating, and that's how I get my information. So we all are looking very good today. We all are looking sweet. We all have something that we want to sell to somebody, and that thing is called content, right? And for us to get that content to meet to the right person, there's a way we get that thing out. And how do we do that? It's either we record it visually or we freeze it, that is snapping. I want to go to the sound. Now, the sound may not be important based on what or the kind of message that you are trying to send. You can just use instrumental. You can use vocal or voice over, right? Or you might just even mute it. The important thing is somebody is saying and the person is what? Is getting the message. There are people who are deaf and you're giving them something to hear. How will they get it? So your picture should first of all speak before your what? Before your sound. Consider the picture if you want to sell visuals. There is one advert that I watch, Ete. How many of you have seen that advert? Where somebody is using knife to chop bitter leaf or vegetable, and the other person is using machine to do that. You have seen that, right? So what's the message from that? Tells us that one is getting or hitting the market different from the other way the other person is hitting or reaching his or her customer. So that's how you guys get content that you are putting out to the person. Now, the content must first of all make somebody to glue into your page first. Not when you see it, the person will just quickly scroll past. There are things you drop, and the person will just like maybe scroll past or pause and look before the person will now continue. Now your content must be what, if you are selling especially, there should be like, we'll call it call to action, CTA, Your content must make somebody to either drop a message or press on the call or shop if you are selling or shop on your platform. Now, quickly, let me tell us that the way I grew the page or the group on the Port Harcourt marketplace is through visuals, through content. And one thing about content is you will easily be forgotten if you are not consistent. Let me repeat that again. You will easily be forgotten if you are not what? Consistent. You can be very good. Your content is on point. But the next time they will see your good content, when you post today, maybe it's next 2 weeks, they will just forget about you. Now, when I understood that, I post every day. Sometimes I post even 3 times in a day. I just want to be there. I just want to get my stuff into your face. So if because the group is growing and is growing, so what happens? Your content may even lost on the timeline. So you have to come up again and then create a new one and then put it on the face of your followers. And then by so doing, I start getting engagement. So what will happen? Your consistency will lead to what? To engagement. And then your engagement finally will lead to sales or what you want. Because sometimes our content in our mind we don't want to sell, but somebody will ask you, bros, how much do they sell am? Do we agree with that? But that is not your intention. Now, will you say you're not selling? No, now that is why you are there. You do what? You sell. So I want to believe that I was able to manage my time, sir. So maybe with the remaining time is left, I would just like somebody to ask me just one question concerning visual content marketing. Anybody may have a question, maybe on what I've said so far or something that you may want us to throw more light on. Maybe I forgot to say it. Question, question, question. That means I try now. Or something to your mind to say. Okay. All right. So let me just quickly round up with that. Now to round it up, there is something I want us to get something. We in Port Harcourt, we are very creative, and I would like us to. I don't know who you are following in your brand. I don't know who you are following, but this is what I do. The people I admire within Nigeria and outside Nigeria, I follow them. And as a graphic artist and as a content or visual content creator, I like people like Coca-Cola. I don't know if you follow people like that. Follow Coca-Cola, as in not Nigeria Coca-Cola, they are organized themselves. Follow them. Also follow Uber. Follow Uber also. Their content are creative, and I always look out for sharp and quality pictures when I follow brands like that. And these guys, they know how to chunk content that are very clean. And if sometimes people there are people who don't know how to create or how to snap, but there is something they like, or they, in fact, they know what is called excellence. They know how to make you to deliver what is in you that you forgot to bring out. I work with a lot of people like that. Even my guy here have that eyes also, where he may not know that person has something that will make you to bring out the best in you. So people like that, also around such people, you get a lot from them. So with this, I say thank you for giving me your time. God bless you.
have to introduce myself. I happen to be founder for Rose Media Network. Rose is actually a media chain that has to do with publishing and journalism. So we have sectorial publications around real estate. One of our products is realestaterevenue.com, which caters for real estate education as well as travel education. So these were launched like 2 months ago. Alright, so why I'm here, maybe
All right, so we are very sorry there's a little discussion with the mic. So if you could hear me, all right, I was saying while I'm here, I would like to just share a bit of my experiences around content, media, and marketing, especially. I know I've seen a lot around hospitality, real estate, education, tech, events, agri, and a whole lot of this sector. So it's more like if you talk about content, everybody has their own perception. Everybody has their own perception, and especially what is in vogue. I think if you say you are a business and you want to leverage online channels to sell, anybody can come up to you and say you have to leverage content marketing. Maybe I should start with saying, I don't know, what do you think content marketing is to you? Does anybody have any prior idea? All right, so okay. To me personally, I think content is the intent behind a message. So whether you are business, whether you are trying to sell a product or services, but frankly speaking, recently due to the emergence of this technology where we have to compete online, brands no longer sell products and services. They sell stories and perception. So I have phone, another person is also producing a mobile phone. I will not tell the person get a phone. So you have to tell the person what the person can do with the phone, which is customer education. So in this recent time when you have to talk about content marketing, you have to understand the place of customer education, because you are actually not trying to just sell to the person. You are also hoping that you can turn these customers to brand advocates that will continue to do what? Tell the same story. So in brief, I would just like to give a flow of what I'll be talking about. I'd like to talk about ideas around what the types of contents are. how it comes to play, what you should consider when thinking about content, as well as having clarity of objective and what the place of manpower is. You know, a lot of times we talk about content. What are the types of content? Is it to just go online and post picture, or is it just to go online and say something? So I have to maybe put in our mind that whenever you're talking about content, you have to be specific to the respective type of content and how it comes to play and how you can use it. So number one kind of types of content is blogs. We know what blogs are, where we go online to read articles and all that. We know ebooks, we know case studies, we know stories, we know checklists, we know infographics. These are types of content. We know let's say okay, I've mentioned case studies. We know photos, yeah, we know videos, we know gifs and memes. Those are actually content. So then what you have to understand is that you don't jump into the content. You have to have a strategy. What the place of strategy means, what's the place of strategy here is, okay, I sell hair. The thing is that whatever you are going to post has to do with three things. One, to educate the customer, make the customer take action, or make the customer happy. Those are basically three things you have to consider. So then this will drive what your objective for the content you are posting. For instance, a fashion brand will also consider that checklist is actually a viable kind of content to use, in the sense that if I sell a t-shirt and I know somewhere that there's a good trouser that can be going with that t-shirt, and then again my kind of target is persons who are used to urban lifestyle. You know, if I want to sell this shirt to this person, it's going to be difficult to just put out the shirt. I can say, okay, this shirt and this trouser somewhere with this camera or this set of glasses can be fine for this your next outing. You see, you are using what? Some kind of supplement to sell just that product. That is the place of a checklist. So it's going to be difficult to just go all out and say, buy this shirt. So then, having these content types in mind, you can now see where can I put in place the kinds of content that may come out from these, let's say, types of content. For instance, we're looking at selling, let's say, set of programs to students. While I was at MTV, we're looking at, okay, most persons that watch videos, let's say all these juveniles, they like entertainment a lot. So, but you know, most of them don't have televisions. You know, it's either they go home or they have where they always hang out to watch this TV. So how can you make them attracted to these television programs where, okay, they should be looking up to it? The project was like, okay, why not we do a campus tour? You go there and get user-generated content from them. That is to say, they participate in the content they are going to produce, and then they are looking forward to see themselves in the TV. That is user-generated content. It's a kind of content whereby you are expecting the end users, your customers, to generate themselves because they become part of the content flow. So in that case, they are going to look at their TV because they want to see themselves, which is, for MTV, they're looking forward to more people viewing their program. So then again, whenever you consider content, you should have a voice. The way Coca-Cola communicates is different from the way Pepsi communicates. There are two different voices. Coca-Cola tells you that their recipe, which is actually a trade secret, is something that you cannot find anywhere. And whenever you are on Coca-Cola, you can test feeling. But Pepsi is not like that. Pepsi tells you a different story. So for everything you are going to think about, you have to have a brand voice, and then you have clarity of objective. The truth is that whatever content stories you put out, you have to know why you are putting every single content out, the cost of putting every single content out, and what you are going to get back for putting it out. That's why it leads me to my last segment, which is manpower. The truth is that it's going to cost you a lot to be consistent putting out content. I've worked in marketing department where they expect one person to do invariably everything. But the truth is that in a more viable kind of setting, people have to have roles and responsibilities. So if you are employing somebody in your marketing team or you are looking forward to consider content as a strategy, you have to understand the place of manpower. Somebody needs to be strategizing, somebody needs to be churning out content, somebody needs to do what? Push out the content. There are two different things. So you have somebody that is supervising, you have somebody that is strategizing, you have somebody that is doing or making sure that the content goes out. There are three different. So you have to also make provision for it. Though as startups, oftentimes one person has to do everything. But this should be your consideration because cost comes with every single content that goes out. So you don't have to go and price a graphic designer cheap because you think that it is as cheap as it is. So you don't have to go let's say pay a content creator cheap because you feel that video going out is as cheap as it is. So it comes with a lot of cost. I think if you watch how much Coca-Cola puts out for commercials, it's really a lot. But you see, it gives us this perception. It comes with a cost, and they have a KPI they are looking forward to. That okay, if this content goes out, we are looking forward to this kind of sales because there's clarity in whatever they are doing. So yeah, I hope to maybe convince you with these few thoughts. So if you have questions, I'll always look forward to them so I can give answers to them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Jude Ayao, and I run eDove Media, that's Eastern Dove Media. I used to run a brand called eFresh as well, and then our focus is actually on entertainment and then events, shoots, and photography, cinematography, and filmmaking, actually. Now, I'm going to come in from a more practical angle now. I'm more of a practical person. I'm very, very practical in my doings. Now, I believe we all have brands that we run here. We all have our businesses, right? And then I would like to tell you that if you have not been putting focus, if you have not been taking your content generation seriously, your business has not even started. Most of everywhere, okay, these days, you know how much it costs to put adverts on radios and TVs, okay? Now, it has become cheaper for us now in the sense that most of those people we are trying to advertise to via TV and radio, most of them are now on the internet. Now, how can we get these people attracted to our brands to patronize us? That's the area of content generation. I would like to tell you that your entire life or our entire lives right now is content. What we are doing right here is content. Your movement from your house to this place is content enough. Maybe while coming, you must have you come across one or two things. Somebody putting on a kind of haphazard clothing, and then you be like, try to relate it. How can this relate to my brand? What kind of story can I bring out from this to use in selling my brand? Okay, so we really need to like channel our minds properly towards content generation. Now, there's this artist in Port Harcourt called Iwono Dandizi. Dandizi is a rapper, and then he's making it big now. Now, this guy, we happened to meet him then when he was still in Rumukurushi, trying to come up and everything. We're like, we know exactly what you need. Content. Come, let's work. Then we started. Dandizi will be going out. he will have a function somewhere. It will be like, oh, well, when is that function? Please, can I speak pidgin here?
No, why?
Yeah. All right. Well, when is that your function? It will be like, boss, next tomorrow. Okay. Let us know immediately. So whenever he's going out, we move with him. Cameras. Okay. Cameras. Every step of the way, he greets somebody, he shakes somebody, content. He dresses ugly, content. So every part of the, every step of the way, until after the whole engagement and whole performances and everything, we record everything and we dissect everything and we start putting out bit by bit, bit by bit. Okay, so by so doing, this guy kept being on people in people's faces. You open your phone, you see him. You go here, you hear about him. So we were like, okay, this is the idea. We need to sell you, your brand, to at least one person per day. We need to convert at least one person to become your follower, to have that massive love for you. And if we can all put this kind of attitude, if you can put this kind of energy, channel it to our businesses, I'm telling you, things will skyrocket. When he was introducing me, he said, I'm always in people's faces. Of course, yes. But you still find out that people don't really get bored, because I try to sample opinion. I have people that when I put out content, I still call. Oh boy, how you see that thing? You're like, oh boy, it didn't go well, it didn't go well. Fire on. We try to manage the content. Don't be too much in people's faces. And then whatever you are bringing out, make sure it has relevance. Make sure it tallies with whatever is happening. Okay? Make sure it's not boring. Like he mentioned just now, content generation can be costly. Cameras, we know how much these things are sold. Cameras are costly, but we can start with from our phones. Let me just explain one thing I did. Then I didn't know how to edit videos. I was like, I called someone. Oh boy, I want to do so thing. The guy said 25K. I was like, 25K. Oh boy, have fun now. Reduce them now. He said, boss, now like this. So I had to pay. Got someone to train me on video editing. Got someone to train me on graphics design. By so doing, whatever content I generate, I do not have to wait for some other person to come and edit for me. If I have to wait, it's either that content becomes stale, or that person might not even have the chance at all, or I may not even have the money. So I try to acquire that knowledge, such that whenever I generate any content, I push out immediately. Edit, make it look fine. There is this music artist, I will not mention her name. We keep telling her, stop snapping your pictures with your phone. And you put out. We don't try raise you reach one level. Now, try to push from there. But you find out this person will keep taking rubbish pictures, put out tongue. What brand? What are you trying to sell? What are you trying to sell? So now, we need to really put our minds in it. Make sure every day you come up with at least one content, a story, a picture, or something that you can use to sell your brand. A few days ago, I was in Ekiti State. About 2 days ago, I came back 2 days ago. Went to shoot. I was on Okada. I took my phone on Okada. Very risky. I was filming, talking and filming on Okada, and then talking about one thing, and then the story I coined around the whole thing in relationship, relating to my own brand was kind of, people were like, waiting. Please, I will just beg us, as we move on, even as we live here, let us have it in mind. As we are going home or wherever we are going to, picture whatever it is you see on the road. Try to make a story out of it. Engage a good photographer. If you do not have the money to engage a good photographer, try to partner with one. Wherever, do product exchange or service exchange. Okay? Just yesterday, somebody introduced a power bank to me, and I was like, this power bank, I will go use market them. I was like, I just sat down for like a couple of minutes. Okay, why don't we shoot a video advert for this thing? Okay, say person dey inside motor, they travel, and then that actually happened to me when I was traveling. I didn't have a power bank on me. My phone went off. My phone hardly go off. Okay, other people come begin try borrow the power bank. I smile, oh boy, plug. Boss, I beg, my phone on that 10 million naira contract. I beg, plug the charge. And another person just look me, one collect power bank from window, Aboki, give me power bank, he plug am like this, him phone, both power bank and phone die. I laugh, I say, boy, I come plug. Content. Shege. So you find out if we put such a video out, the way people will rush that power bank, I would not want to mention the brand name, the way people will rush the power bank. So this is what I think we should apply to our businesses. Try to sit down, think, try to tell a story about your brand. And I think I'm out of time now. I will just stop here. Yeah, no worry.
Explain this thing. Quickly, we are almost rounding up, but before I round up, I want to ask some questions. There's some certain questions I want to ask quickly before I round up. So I will direct my question quickly to, in less than 30 seconds, they are going. Are we live? We're live. Are we live? We're good? All right. So quickly, now, most of us that are here, including myself, I'm still a solopreneur. Let's not lie to ourselves. That means visually, I do visually everything myself. There's some persons that are not solopreneur. This guy is, Jude is not more a solopreneur. He has lots of people working. Clement and but me, I can talk myself. I'm a solopreneur. That means I handle visually everything myself. I don't know of you, but what I'm trying to say now, as a solopreneur, how do we now to generate this content? Sometimes it's very expensive. You call me as a photographer to come and do anything for you now. No matter how bad it is, except I'm doing it for free. I won't do it less than 10,000 or 15,000, no matter how small it is. And most of us, our income in a month is not even up to even that amount. So how do you leverage? How do you grow to the point that you'll be able to hire somebody generating this content?
All right. I mentioned something about service exchange. Now, there was this guy that came for training. The mom brought the guy. I was like, okay, we don't have money. How can we? When I like, okay, your son will work with us. Who will train your son? Okay, but your son will have to work with us for at least a year. And the woman agreed. And we trained the son. Under 3 months, the son was good. And then the son has been working with us. And then once we move, he moves with us. He's always on ground. We didn't spend any money. That's service exchange, kind of service exchange, basically. And then my coming here today, you see, we're talking about content. I had to come with one of my people, shooting pictures and videos since. When I go see what we go use the pictures they do.
Thank you. Okay, all right.
All right. So I'm not good with this mic. Well, anyway, is something that struck my mind. When you are looking at manpower, the truth is that even the bigger corporation, they worry about the skill they bring in. And for me, I'm almost like a bootstrapper. When I say bootstrapper, I like to shortcut things like growth hack things. So I've run my media platform. A lot of persons don't know I own it. Like for the last 3 years, no, a lot of persons don't know I own it independently with interns visually, and I pay them, put them on bills about 10,000 naira. The thing is that I had to, just like he mentioned, upskill them. I train them and put them on internship using the platform. They already have a flow. They already know what to do. They already know how to do it. So it was just like a case of supervise them and motivate them to deliver. And then again, if you are looking forward to cut costs, you also look at what are the tools I can substitute for the bigger tool. Just like he said, if there are no cameras, you can try your mobile phone. If there are no video apps that let's say software that is or is sophisticated for you, you can try the mobile apps and all that. So it's almost like you find your way around things, and that's why it's important.
Yes, bootstrap, bootstrap, bootstrap. On my website, austinokolo.com, I have what I have apprenticeship program for 1 year. I think that is, I think maybe I don't learn this part before. What he said just now, that's exactly what I've been doing over the years, trying to get people. I train them for a certain number of time. It's just so recent that I started putting contracts. Why? Because I started putting contracts so that it will look formal. Most of us operate our company as if it's only us that are going to run it forever. No. A company is supposed to be run by people. You're supposed to you should be able to go for a vacation for 2 weeks and money will still be flowing to your bank. So if you have not gotten to that level, you need to find a way to leverage. That is the essence of this training. So that we, solopreneur, how do you scale your business as fast as possible? So that money, see, at the end of all this story, forget this thing where they talk here. Guy, now money. Now like, if you get banned now, you go hire 100 people. It's money. You have the idea. Most of us say our idea is so solid, but we can't even take it up because we don't want to. We don't want to mess it up. So how do you get this money fast? That is the way. What he said, get people. You have some skills that you have. There are some photographers that are there. They are looking for a clothing brand. Like my wife is a fashion designer. Every day we get message on his platform. I want to collaborate. I want to shoot with you. That's it. That's one of the easiest. Sometimes he gets one of them. Go and shoot. Bring the pictures for me. She has the content. Daily she posts every day on her page. The traction is immeasurable. So that is one of the cheapest way you can do to grow fast, so that the money will start coming in. Then you can start hiring people. Then secondly, the essence of this thing is we're going to look at content, advertisement, marketing, and sales. Content first. Now, as a solopreneur, most times we don't have the fund, we don't have the resources to hire people. We don't even have to even outsource. So how do you do? How do you sell? Most times they say content first. If you see the way the thing goes, content first, advertisement, marketing, and sales. So content first before the content is what you advertise. Then when you advertise, is whatever you advertise, you now market whoever they advertise to. Then if the person has been marketed properly, you now sell. But most of us, before you get to the sale process, these things are processes. Before you get to this, hunger might actually take you unaware. So how do you do content? The content part, I always tell people, sell while you are pushing your content as a solopreneur. Four quadrants of content. Is it 6 quadrants of content? Instagram, 6 quadrants of content. 3. The first one should be about your brand. About your brand. Then any other one that will get to the 6 should be anything you are producing should also sell. He does it a lot. He sells all the time. Most of us will only push picture. You don't ask. So when you are pushing those content, you sell. What do I mean by sell? Ask people to buy. Anybody that say, I like this, pick the phone and call the person. You say, you like this thing there, you go buy them. Are you with me? So we leverage on that. So you keep producing those content. You keep selling as you are producing the content. When you get to the advertisement part, as you are advertising, you are selling too. So as a solopreneur, you'll be selling along the road so that you not run out of money. I sell every day. I'm going to sell. I'm a photographer. Please, if you need picture, on my line, If you need a photographer, Picture Bank is there. Ficus Life is there. They will help you. Whoever will. So I'm telling you now. So you already know I'm a photographer, right? You do photography too. So she has already sold himself too. So we should keep selling. The essence of this training, at the end of this day, this thing I'm spending a lot of money in putting this together. These people came on board because they are my friends. If I'm going to bring these guys here, it's going to cost me whole heavy, man, a whole lot of money. So even with them coming on board almost for free, not almost for free, it's still costing me money. So what is going to happen with this content? I'm going to use it to sell somebody out there. I told you we have 50,000 persons every week. We're going to hit 50,000 persons every week on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm focusing on Instagram and YouTube. 50,000 every week to sell people to give me money. Are you with me? So that is another way we can do it. So if you are pushing out content, you sell. The last question before we round up, the last question before we round up is simple. Now, uh, uh, you mentioned that according to Mr. Owen, he said strategy. Most of this strategy stuff, how do somebody that doesn't have the knowledge how to be like him now, he why I always use him because he's always on my face. He's always on my face. I think he has a very strong strategy. How do someone develop this strategy to build this content in 30 seconds? How do someone develop a strategy to build this content? Like to stay consistent, because the strategy is to stay consistent. So how do you build that strategy to stay consistent? As a solopreneur, please don't talk from big. You are a big company. Talk from some of us that are still upcoming. So how do you build those? What are the things you need to put on ground?
Okay, quickly, I would like to rebuke the fact that if you ever think yourself as a small business, you will not grow. You have to always think as big business. All right, then again, let me put strategy as simple as possible. Business A sits down, asks himself the question: who are my customers? Who are my audience? He narrows down all the, let me see, enumerate all the customers or audience into maybe one or two or three segments. The next phase is, what does this customers need in terms of information? Do they need an idea about how to use the product? Do they need information about how to keep their health okay? Do they need content that needs to make them happy? You move to the next phase. Okay, what are the kind of content that will keep them in check about their health? What are the kind of content that will, let's say, tell them more about the products? What are the kind of content that may be relevant to them and does not necessarily mean anything to us and we can still give them? And then again, what is the schedule for this content and how often is it going to be? Is it clear? Okay, with all this documented, it's a strategy. So what you need is, who should take responsibility for what, when, who is going to take responsibility to consistently push out this content, who is going to take consistency to measure this effort, who is going to take consistency to do or supervise the whole flow. That is strategy. It's as simple as that. So the thing is that you only have to pay somebody or have to sit down and do it yourself. You choose to do it yourself or you pay for somebody. It's simple.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, any question? Any question before I go? Question from the people that are here in the studio right now. Any question? Do you have any question or contribution? You know, a question, a contribution. Okay, let him go first. Quickly, 30 seconds. 30
The
seconds.
question is we've been talking of us as a brand having something to give out. Like he made mention he's a brand and he knows how to do the video creation and video editing and the graphics, and you train somebody for a year and the person worked with you. How about brands that don't have this idea? What do you do?
Okay, thank you very much. So my answer to that question is obvious. That is why we are here as a brand, to learn, and people online. So what you should do is you learn. There are informations out there for us to acquire to get to know how you can use the people around you, because obviously we always come online to see different kinds of content for us to use or even to learn. Sometimes we have templates that we can just customize as an own it and then push it out if we don't have time. Now to add to this strategy thing, let me say plan. Like when you wake up in the morning, before 12, I believe you must have taken your bath, eat, brush, or whatever before you hit the road or something. For those of us who like to go out, so we must have a plan, and we must know when we want to and who and where we want our content to go. And let's talk about the age. How as in the kind of people that you want to sell your products to. Now, this is it. If you want to sell products to kids, children, for instance, obviously we know that you can hardly see 10 years old below on the internet. They will not understand the message. I believe the people that can get that message are not even the dad. They are the mom, that you are selling a product for kids and you know that these kids are not online. So who will you be targeting now? The mothers. Maybe some fathers, but more of the mothers. So that is what I got from what he was saying also when he was talking about strategy. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Let him ask this question.
Okay, my name is Victor Akinola, a writer. My brand name is Mr. White Consort. I'm also a photographer. I must tell you, I really appreciate you guys. There's no end to learning. I thought I know before, but I have seen that I'm a learner. I'm still a student here, having heard from you guys. And practically, most of things you said here, I've tried to put them out there too. But challenges that I face with, leveraging on people around you, having people that you can share your idea with and that they buy into it and help you develop it, see the way you see it, and push that content across. But I must tell you, I've learned, especially, sorry, I'm not trying to be biased, but especially from him, he just said something that's related to what I'm having in mind, but you have just broadened my mind again now. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. I mean, sharing your ideas with us, Mr. Austin. Thank you. I met you online, and today is our first time of meeting. And I must tell you, I won one of your prize too. On the so thank you very much. I look forward to more of these because there is no, end to what we can gain from this kind of gathering. Thank you very much.
So, quickly, thank you. There's a lot. These guys, no, content creation, when it comes to content creation, this guy can stay till morning till night. These are content kings. So, now, I'm going to drop, there's a WhatsApp group we have. If you're watching from austinokolo.com/webinar, there's a link there that you can click that will take you to a WhatsApp group. So any other question that anybody have that is watching online, go to that group, drop the question, and they can answer it from there. He wants to say more. If we allow them to say, we will not leave this place today. So we're going to shut down now because we promised to shut down by 11 on the dot. So we're going to shut down now. So we're going to big shout out to Jude. Big shout out to the Owen, the content god. Big shout out to Mr. Clement, Market Connect PH. Thank you for coming out. Now listen. If they are coming because of value for value, you understand? So if you want to hire them, you want to invite them to any of your listing, feel free. Their content is going to be dropped in that group. Then got that group so that you can actually relate to them. So reach out to them if you need a photographer. Webnora is one of your photographer. If you need a content strategist, you have an Owen here. If you need a digital marketer, it's a certified digital marketer. He's also here. So go to that group and click and join that group if you're watching online. Most of you that are not in that group, go to that particular place and join. So thank you all. Thank you for Eden VIP Lounge. This place we are using was given to us by Eden as a partner. And thank you for Enemi Kotor for giving the 25,000 naira worth down to Oma Line. Because people will clap. 25K. It's a lot of money. So the gown will be given to you immediately. If you have time to wait, be given to you immediately after this thing. I'll send for her. They'll bring it for you immediately, so you don't need to go home. So thank you all for watching. Next week we're going to be talking about advertising and little more about content. Content is king. Abi? Yeah. So we're going to talk more about content as we proceed. Matter of fact, this training is basically about creative content creation. So advertising without content is rubbish. So marketing without content is rubbish. Sale process without content. So everything has to do with content. So we're going to be talking about them as we proceed. 4 episodes next week, week after next, and we shut down. Thank you all for watching. See you next time. God bless you. Bye.